half in and hasn't put the mobile down yet. You better get back there. They exchanged a triple cheek kiss. Brooke had protested the full 3 kisses in the beginning, but Luca insisted, before Brooke took a deep breath and walked back to their table. Nola was tucked neatly into the banquette, her suit jacket flung across the back bench, and her navy cashmere shell showing off tightly toned arms and contrasting nicely with her gorgeous olive skin. Her shoulder-length layered cut was stylish and sexy. Her blonde highlights glowed under the restaurant's soft lights, and her makeup looked dewy and fresh. No one would ever know from looking at her that Nola had just clocked in 12 hours on a trading desk, screaming into a headset. Brooke and Nola didn't meet until second semester senior year at Cornell, although Brooke, like the rest of the student body, recognized Nola and was equal parts terrified of and fascinated by her. Compared to her hoodie and Ugg-wearing fellow students, the model-thin Nola favored high-heeled boots and blazers and never, ever tied her hair in a ponytail. She'd grown up in elite prep schools in New York, London, Hong Kong, and Dubai, places her investment banker father worked, and had enjoyed the requisite freedom that goes along with being the only child of extremely busy parents. How she ended up at Cornell instead of Cambridge or Georgetown or the Sorbonne was anyone's guess, but it didn't take a lot of imagination to see she wasn't particularly impressed by it all. When the rest of them were busy rushing sororities, meeting for lunch at the Ivy Room, and getting drunk at various college town bars, Nola kept to herself. There were glimpses into her life, the well-known affair with the archaeology professor, the frequent appearances of sexy, mysterious men on campus who vanished soon thereafter. But for the most part, Nola attended her classes, aced everything she took, and hightailed it back to Manhattan the moment Friday afternoon rolled around. When the 2 girls found themselves assigned to workshop each other's short stories in a creative writing elective their senior year, Brooke was so intimidated she could barely speak. Nola, as usual, didn't appear particularly pleased or upset, but when she returned Brooke's first submission a week later, a fictional piece on a character struggling to adapt to her Peace Corps assignment in Congo, it was filled with thoughtful, insightful commentary and suggestions. Then, on the last page, after scrawling out her lengthy and serious feedback, Nola had written, "P.S. Consider sex scene in Congo?" And Brooke had laughed so hard she had to excuse herself from class to calm down. After class, Nola invited Brooke to a little coffee place in the basement of one of the academic buildings, a place none of Brooke's friends ever hung out, and within a couple weeks Brooke was going to New York with Nola on weekends. Even after all these years, Nola was too fabulous for words. But it helped Brooke, knowing that her friend sobbed during news segments featuring soldiers coming home from war, was secretly obsessed with one day having a perfect white picket fence in the suburbs, despite being openly derisive about it, and had a pathological fear of small, yappy dogs, Walter, Brooke's dog, not included. Perfect. No, I think sitting at the bar is just fine," Nola said into the phone, rolling her eyes at Brooke. No need to make a reservation for dinner. Let's just play it by ear." "Okay, sounds good. See you then." She clicked her phone shut and immediately grabbed the red wine, refreshing her own glass before remembering Brooke and filling hers too. "Do you hate me?" Brooke asked as she arranged her coat on the chair next to her and tossed her wet clutch beside her. She took a long, deep drink of wine and savored the feeling of the alcohol sliding over her tongue. "Why? Just because I've been sitting here alone for 30 minutes? I know, I'm really sorry. Hellish day at work. 2 of the full-time nutritionists called in sick today, which, if you ask me, sounds suspicious, and the rest of us had to cover their rotations. Of course, if we met sometime in my neighborhood, maybe I could get there on time." Nola held up her hand. "Point taken. I do appreciate you coming all the way down here. Dinner in Midtown West just isn't appealing." "Who were you just on with? Was that Daniel?" "Daniel?"